golden rule says to treat others as you want to be treated, but you need to treat people how they need to be treated. I'm going to tell you about when I learned this for myself. So I was fortunate enough in college to study abroad. I had had some older friends and they had told me the biggest regret they had had in their college experience was not studying abroad. And so I was like, okay, I definitely have to do that. I did an immersion program in Paris, France, my junior year of college. And so an immersion program means that you're going there to basically learn the culture of France in an immersive way. So I lived with a host family about an hour outside of the city of Paris. And I had like the best host family, and my host mom was so committed to me learning French. So that was the goal there, is like you always spoke French. And so every single morning when I would come down for breakfast, she would talk to me in French about her day, about all this stuff, kind of just like blah, 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 in a sense of just her wanting to expose me to the language of French. And I was like so grateful for it. I was eager to learn. I loved my program and everything. And what started happening though was every morning when I would be eating breakfast, I would, have to leave to get on the train to go into the city to go to school. And I noticed that like she just like would kind of keep talking. And so I would be late and miss my train. And so I started to just like speak up more, and start saying things in French. And then when that didn't work, I would start saying things in English, like I gotta go. And eventually I was just like, she would just keep talking. And so I eventually would just like start walking out, be like, okay, got it. And then just leave. And then eventually she would still be talking as I'm like leaving, like to go to the train. Because eventually I got to a point where I was like, I can't keep missing my train. Like I can't be late to school. Like I just can't. So I'm stuck in the middle of like wanting to kind of please my host mom and care and make sure she knows that I'm grateful for what she's trying to do. But I also can't be late. So what I started to do is just like leave. I just started to I literally would have to walk out of the door as she was talking and just be comfortable with the fact that she was still talking. And this was obviously like very uncomfortable at first. It like went against all my good girl stuff of like wanting to make someone do this, wanting to get their approval, wanting to please them, but also at a point where I was like, I can't keep sacrificing myself. And that was just a big lesson for me, that you have to be flexible in the way that you treat people. Like you can't just be so rigid and it be about your character and have all this stuff sometimes. Like sometimes it's about the relationship, because I was getting so resentful, and doing that, walking out of the door, transformed our relationship in the best way.